So welcome back to the channel. Nick Cotty here again. So guys, the last video I put up was about 5 weeks ago, about maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, and had a really good response, and that was on my first natural bodybuilding show of this season, so 2018 season. That was here in Sydney. So a lot has happened since then, and I wanted to make this video before I put up kind of a edited video of myself, my wife Alice, our trip to the US, to have a holiday, to compete in two INBF, or which is also known as WNBF in the Pro League, in their shows over there as well. So that video will be a separate video to this. I just wanted to give a wrap up, because I had a lot of people asking me questions via YouTube and also on Instagram as well. So I thought I'd cover it and just talk to the camera. So it was an amazing experience, So I competed in 2015 in the INBF, the California Natural Muscle Mayhem, which is probably one of the biggest amateur bodybuilding shows, I want to say in the world, but definitely in the United States. And this year, so that was 2015. This year I went over there 3 years later to do it again, and it was stacked. It was an even bigger show, 20 years of this show. So it's run in Sacramento, in California, and it's just a great environment. You meet so many good people, and so many people come out just to watch this show, both the pros and the amateurs as well. So basically, yeah, that was the second show. A week earlier, I did a show in New Orleans. So how it basically panned out is I flew into Dallas. Actually got delayed overnight. Managed to make the most of that situation. It was really tough because, as you guys know from my last video, the week before show day, we do a deplete week. So Coach Cliff Wilson basically gets me to minimize the amount of carbs, high protein, high fats, but pretty much bugger all carbs, just trace carbs through basically Brussels sprouts, green beans, broccoli, just a cup of greens with each meal, and I think it's about 6 meals a day plus 1 scoop of protein. So it's high protein through chicken and steak. However, you can imagine doing that after having a moderate amount of carbs in my diet normally, combined with flying, combined with flights being cancelled. I was in transit for about 30 hours only to find out that I couldn't make it to my destination, so I had to stay in Dallas. What did I do? I spoke to Alice, and she basically said, just tick something off the bucket list. Go to either Destination Dallas or Metroflex. So I picked Destination Dallas because it was going to be the easiest to get to, and I found some good accommodation at a hotel nearby. Basically went there, had one set of clothes, didn't have any gym equipment or anything. So luckily at Destination Dallas, I had a Gasp, which is really good quality gym gear. They had their flagship store, I believe it was, or just one of their stores. So got some of their gear, managed to get in a fantastic workout. It was actually one of the last workouts, the last kind of proper workouts before just some pump style work, leading into the 48 hours before the show. So got that workout in, managed to get my flight the next day, get to New Orleans, had about, 2.5 days there to acclimatise. In this time, Alice came over and met me at our Airbnb. She also got delayed as well. So we've been through a fair bit. However, managed to pull it together on minimal amounts of sleep, a fair bit of stress, and just nailed it. I guess trying to stay relaxed. Obviously, training, eating was on point. I was really proud of myself. Obviously, you guys know me. I just, it's not in my agenda to ever go over my macros or binge or anything. That's just something that's ingrained in me. I don't know why I do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't fall asleep if I know I'd eaten more than I meant to. So even with the long days, the 2 or 3 hours sleep for about 4 or 5 days there, it all worked out, and we got it done. And I actually looked the best I'd ever looked on that show day. So was really happy there. I managed to take away the overall win there. It was a very small show. Unfortunately, going into these shows, especially going from the other side of the world, you can never tell just how big a show is going to be. Although it was a pro qualifier, there just wasn't enough athletes in order for me to get my pro card. And I would have, as a competitor, I want to compete against the best, which is why I picked the Muscle Mayhem the week after as well. but I want to compete against the best. I want to be challenged. I want to see where I'm weak. I want to see where I'm strong. And I just want to have fun up there, and I'm a very competitive person. So nonetheless, it was a really good show. Got to meet some amazing people. And New Orleans was sick. It was really, really wicked. The culture, the food, the environment there, the houses, it was really good. And even though I couldn't eat a lot, Alice and I still had a wonderful time, drank lots of coffee, saw the sights, and the weather was perfect. So from there, we went to Austin, Texas, which was the surprise of the trip. It was hipster, it was upbeat, there was neon lights everywhere. I think it's just because there's so many students and younger kind of 20 to 25 year olds, or probably 18 to 25 year olds there. It is just really up and coming, and we absolutely loved it. If you guys haven't been, if you're in Australia, if you're in the UK, if you're in the US, get across there. It was really, really an amazing place. So from there, we jumped across to California, which we hired a car and did a big road trip. But in this video, I'll mainly talk about the show. So flying across to Sacramento, we were there for 3 days. Had an Airbnb for 3 days, and then we had a hotel for 2 nights, just closer to the actual venue, to the host hotel, and just for tanning and training. It made it a little bit easier as well. So we stayed at Airbnb. We got in some good training. This week went much better than the week before in terms of sleep, recovery, and just how the body was feeling. After my long flight over, I felt my hamstrings and my hip flexors were just really beat up. And I remember even posing. I didn't even get worked that hard because there wasn't that many competitors in the first show. Even posing was pretty hard. So we worked on that, loosened up, foam rolled, got in some really good, a lot of steps, a lot of walking in another depletion week. So this was my second depletion week back to back. So I was feeling it. I was very, very flat on the Thursday, I believe it was. Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday was the big rapid backload. Obviously, Cliff Wilson is known for this, and this was our third time doing it. Well, my third time doing it. We did 2 with him, 1 by myself, but I gave him all that feedback. We pushed the carbs up to about 1075, huge amounts of water, over 10 litres. I think salt finished up at about 5.5 to 6 grams. I want to say maybe even a little bit more. However, it was all in Cliff's hands, and that's what you want. Having a coach at this point in prep is, I highly advise it. Coming from a coach, obviously, even coaches have coaches, just to take that guesswork out of it, and give you a bit of they can look at you, and you might think you're full, you might think you're flat, they might think the opposite. So it's good to have someone there giving you an objective kind of response and being honest with you. So show day for the Mayhem. I woke up, I want to say probably, I was actually a touch heavier than the 2 previous peak weeks. However, I was definitely the tightest I'd been. The tan at this point wasn't probably on point, just because the tan they were using wasn't agreeing with me. However, the lady that was doing it, I forget her name now, she was amazing. She probably did 4 or 5 coats on me. She helped me apply the hot stuff at the end, the kind of the glaze at the end. So everything looked really good on stage. The pump up was really good for the morning show. I couldn't quite get a good pump for the evening show. Sometimes that can happen. It can be nerves. It can be it can just be things not digesting. However, absolutely brought my best for the Muscle Mayhem. Have never been leaner in my whole life. My glutes are on, my hamstrings are in. All my posing was good. So I was stoked, guys. And there's honestly a feeling, if you work hard and you've looked the best you've ever looked, which is what bodybuilding's all about. It's improving your body to better yourself. You never know who's going to turn up on that day. You never know what's going to happen. You just don't. You can't predict. People. You're never going to get a list and know exactly. And you don't want to know. It's you versus you, and that is all that matters. So I brought my absolute best, and even if Alice will say this as well. After the prejudging, I was honestly so emotional in terms of the fact that I'd worked my ass off for 7 months, just on the diet, but it had been years and years and years before that. Obviously, this being my 3rd natural bodybuilding season. So I was just like, it felt, beside the night show and all the judging stuff in the morning, it just felt amazing. Like all I wanted to do was just sit there and just soak it all up, because I knew that all the work was done. I could not have done anything more, literally. Nothing more. Not one meal better, not one bit of sleep better. Like that was it. Everything in my power, in my reach, I did. So it's a really nice feeling, and I suspect quite a few other competitors on this day had that same feeling, because it was a stacked show. So I was in the lightweight class, weighed in about high 150s, maybe 160 when I was carved up on stage. I was in the lightweight class. The middleweights was stacked as well, and there was only one heavyweight, so he got pulled into the middleweights. So there was two classes of about, I think, 10 in the light, or nine in the lights, maybe 7 in the middleweights, and I came away with second place in the lightweights. So honestly, couldn't believe it. I saw some of these guys. A couple of them were juniors, so they competed in the junior class. I saw some of them compete, and when you see someone compete or you see them backstage, for me to look at that person and be like, wow, that is an amazing physique, and then I get to go toe to toe with them and actually come second, to only have one person beat me. It's a great feeling, and it was a very successful day. The winner, if you guys were following me on Instagram, it was Ace Baldwin. And again, an amazing experience with Ace. Ace is someone I followed. So I was coached by 3DMJ, Alberto Nunez, for, I think, me and Alberto worked together for about 4 years, still very, very close. Berto's a guy I can go to for anything. We bounce ideas off each other. And he was there on this day as well. 3DMJ ran deep. They had about 5 athletes in the show. So it was crazy. So it was good to obviously see Berto, but and show him some gains that I made as well, and really get some good feedback there. So Ace Baldwin, the winner of the lightweight class, he basically was an original 3DMJer. I believe he's about just over 40 years old, and Ace is one of the hardest workers in the industry. He's a pro in, I think he was telling me, 2 other federations. I think it was the NGA and the PNBA, which is obviously big over here with the INBA affiliate. And he just wanted that WNBF pro card. He's competed in the Muscle Mayhem numerous times as a lightweight, and he was bringing his best package. So for me to be able to stand there and go toe to toe with Ace, and actually represent and hold my own in quite a few poses, I will take that any day of the week, just because Ace then went on to win the overall, and that inspires me as well. So it really motivates me, and I know I've got plenty more in my physique that I can improve, and my motivation and my love for this sport and this passion is more than ever. It's higher than ever. So yeah, really good experience. That is 13 minutes that I didn't think I would. I thought it would be much shorter than that. So if you guys tune in, thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for an edit and some fun stuff from the trip, some food we ate. And then I'm also going to make a reverse diet video, which I'm just calling I'm not sure yet. We were going to call it the wedding ring reverse, because my wedding ring hasn't been able to fit on my actual ring finger for quite some time, just because it's too skinny. So the minute it fits on there, I know I'm putting some body fat on again. But we'll work that out, and I'll get that video up shortly, as well as that edit. But thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Catch you in the next one.